Hey everybody, so good evening. Welcome to the Hope Nation call. It is Tuesday, March 21st, the second day of spring. And I just wanted to come to you guys with a few secrets to success. And I can't take credit for this. This is something that I had read out of one of the personal development books that I've been reading. And oddly enough, it's called Successful People Are Full of Crap. So it goes out, CRAP, Courage, Resilience, Authenticity, and Perseverance, and it's by Rachel Luna. And it's funny that I found this book because I was actually reading a different book that highlights, I think it was Girl Code, and it highlights other female entrepreneurs and their stories. And so the one that was about Rachel Luna really caught my attention, so I ended up purchasing her book, which is kind of funny. A lot of that referral kind of thing that we always hope to do. But when you just share something that you've learned or share a story, it tends to kind of pique people's curiosity. So another tie back to what we do when we invite people and we share the value that we have in challenge groups and in our products and in the coaching opportunity. Sometimes that perks the ears of others and they want to know more and may, start that conversation. But anyway, back to the 7 secrets to success I want to share with you tonight. So the success comes to those who have proceeded to do what the rest of us have always intended to do. And I think that's so true. That is an anonymous quote, but it's so true that, there really are no secrets to success, especially in our business, because we are so blessed by an incredibly successful and value-producing upline that constantly gives us anything from scripts to leadership training to just any day help in what we need. So we are very fortunate that we have an upline of support that will help and train us and show us those tips for how they were able to become successful in this business. So we don't have to worry about figuring it out on our own. If you listen to the National Wake Up Call from March 20th, the girl who was on that call talked about how when she started out, she was simply just curious about the business. It wasn't that she came into this expecting to have all this success or that she was in it for the business. She just really loved the products and then got curious about the business. She had no upline support, which is, the case from several successful coaches that you hear from. So she figured it out on her own. She listened to every National Wake Up Call, YouTube videos from successful coaches, and just figured it out. And so those are the kinds of things that really separate the cream of the crop from people that want to be. And I think that's really the key. And what that quote says is that those people are the ones that actually do what the rest of us always intend to do. We say, we store up all this information and all of these trainings and tips and tools, but until you put them into action, then you're not going to be able to see that same success of others. So here are some tips for you that will hopefully help. And if you want to kind of jot them down and that way you can look back on them, then that might be great for you, or you can always re-listen to this call as well. So the first one is be inspired. So inspiration can come from anywhere. But it's such... The inspiration for anything can come from anywhere. So right now, let me just give a personal example. I've always had this dream and this vision to help families adopt and provide adoption grants through my business, through what I do with Beachbody, and in helping families and moms become healthy and fit and pay that forward in a way that would help families adopt children. That inspiration, came, from obviously our own experience and things that I'm passionate about. And passion's a whole nother topic we can talk about in a whole nother call. But the other day I came across a post from another adoptive mom, and she said that she was losing weight with some kind of pills and products from another company. And she went through and told her whole emotional story of going through the adoption process and what that did into their health, and how they basically ignored their health because they were stressed out. They were focused on the adoption, bringing their child home, and the transition that happened. So anyone that has had a major life transition, whether it's, sickness or taking care of someone else or having a new baby, a lot of times we fail to take care of ourselves. So this is the emotion of her post, is that she had lost track of her own health and fitness. And so she was then focused on it after they brought their child home. And she's so glad she did, able to lose some weight, et cetera, et cetera. And that post inspired me and said, are there other families out there in the same situation where they're going through this process and losing themselves in the process because of something that's stressful? So that inspiration can come from anywhere. I really don't know this lady on a very personal level, but her post caught my attention, and it allowed me to pray on that and see where God has that going for my business. And so I created a survey. I'm in the process of putting it out to more adoptive parents and see what the interest is and how I can connect my two passions. But just inspiration allows you to envision yourself doing these amazing things that you've always dreamed of doing. So it lights you up, and inspiration just enables you to move forward. Maybe there's I had this dream and I hadn't been doing anything with it. And you never know when that spark will just come at you. So you strive to be inspired each day, and you can live a life filled with happiness, hopefulness, and ultimately success. So keep your eyes open. Be inspired through, you might be inspired by something that you least expect. So keep watch for it. Number 2 is put yourself on display. So a lot of times we don't want to put ourselves on display. We want to hide in the background. But as a business owner, you need to be able to put yourself out there, that vulnerability that was talked about on the National Wake Up Call. No one will know who you are or how you can help them or what you're capable of achieving if you don't put yourself out there. You've got to put your talents on display for other people to see. So the successful people out there are the ones that are willing to take that leap, that to cross over that fear of rejection or whatever it is. And they can take both praise and criticism. And I think that is the fear behind putting yourself out there, is the fact that we know that when you are vulnerable, you open yourself up to criticism, and nobody likes to have criticism thrown their way, of course. But then there's also going to be praise associated with that too. So when you take center stage, you put yourself out there, you just have to let the world know who you are, how special you are, what you have to offer. Your success is based on your ability to show others what you can do. We can't help anybody if they don't know that we're coaches. We can't help people get in challenge groups if we don't talk about it. We cannot expand our team if we never talk about the coaching opportunity. So put yourself out there. Number 3 is stop searching for instant gratification. Oh, it's so hard, right? We live in an instant world, so we always want to see success right away. We want to join a challenge group and drop 5 pounds in the first 2 days. We want to start our business, and we want to rank up and make, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month in the first couple months. It takes time. So instant gratification is never soon enough. It's like we can't ever see success fast enough, and that's part of the problem. We live in this now generation. Everything is fast. Technology allows us to talk to each other, to share ideas so instantly, and it doesn't take us any time to do anything. So the problem is we think success is going to take no time at all. But when we stop searching for instant gratification, for shortcuts, we want to be able to get there faster, have more customers, have more coaches. It takes time. So when we stop focusing on making things happen fast and we just focus on making things happen, then that is when the magic happens. It's like you take your time and you're strategic in your decisions. You really plan out posts, you plan out groups, and you plan out, if you don't know an answer to a question, nobody's going to fault you for saying, let me get back to you. I want to make sure that I answer your question correctly. So don't just feel like you always have to have things as quick as possible. It's so much better to be able to do it the correct way, to do it in a way that is going to bear fruit versus just something that's really fast. So keep working on doing all that you can to make your dream come true, but don't worry about how fast or how slow things are happening. That's the other part, is we tend to compare ourselves with other people. And so, you see fast success, you see these stories of success all over the place, and you want that now. And I'm just as guilty as anyone else. I don't like to be patient, but just keep doing what you're doing and trust God with the rest, that his timing is perfect and he is lining things up in the background when we don't even see it. So stop searching for that instant gratification. Number 4 is remember overnight success doesn't happen overnight. So this is the same kind of idea. You see people rise to fame and you think that it happened overnight. People that have top records in the market, or other people out in Hollywood, you just feel like one day they woke up and they became a star. No, what you don't see is how many tables they waited, and how many years of acting classes, and how many years of trying to make demos and get hit records before they actually hit it big. So it's just, that's not the way it works. You don't become an instant success. So the example she uses in this book is Justin Bieber. Well, he went, his video went viral on YouTube, and even that didn't make him a success overnight. So real lasting success takes time, hard work, energy, dedication, commitment, and perseverance. Dave Ramsey said, I worked my butt off for 15 years and then became an overnight success. I mean, isn't that right? Like, we don't see those 15 years that he worked. We just know Dave Ramsey. He's a financial guy. He's awesome. He knows what he's talking about. Everybody trusts him. Everybody loves him. Everybody's used his stuff. Well, it didn't happen overnight. So what you have to do is just keep your focus, keep that momentum going, and before you know it, you will be successful too. It just is not going to be overnight. You just got to keep grinding every single day. Number 5, this is the hard one for most of us, is manage your time. Manage your time. So have you ever thought there's not enough hours in the day? The problem is we all have the same amount of time in the day. It's just a matter of how much do we scroll on Facebook? How much do we check our email? How much time are we spending in doing these other things? So time management is crucial, because when you think about, reaching your goals and you're really focused on that, then you can carve out the time for the things that are important to you. So, without time, we can do nothing. Everybody has time. So we need to make use of that time. There are some of us that legitimately have less time than we need. We know that there's just a lot going on. So what can we do? So we can delegate. We can ask for help. We can reach out to support system and see how we can get different ideas on how to do things in a different way to free up some of that time that we do need. So take advantage of the people on this team that we can kind of work together. And I think that's part of what we do in our challenge groups too, being able to combine together to do the posts and really encourage the other challengers in the group. That frees up so much time, especially for me. I know, so maybe it's selfish in a way, but I was running groups solo for so long where I was posting 3 times a day in every single group all by myself. So now that we have our team and I can delegate some of that, it frees up a lot of that time that I was spending simply on posts, and now I can spend more time on inviting or those vital behaviors. So what we can do is think of those things that are not as important to our business and either hire someone out to do it, or decide if it's really all that important at all. A lot of times we think every little detail is important, but maybe prioritize those things and see which one of those things we can let go of. It's kind of like cleaning out your closet when you have all these clothes you don't want to part with, but you know you have to make room for others. So you have to purge your closet from time to time and make some breathing room. Same thing with your schedule. You've got to be able to make some breathing room and prioritize and make time for the things that really matter. Don't get caught up in trying to be a superhero. So when you make your list of priorities, do what you can in the time that you have, and delegate where you can. If you can pass something off to someone else in the family. I know for me, I make my kids put away their laundry. It's not a big deal, but the things that they can put away, I make them do it. That frees up 5 minutes. So it's just little stuff like that, but you can find ways to make a little bit more time and help yourself out. Number 6, this is something I don't think that we have a whole lot of trouble with, but it's a good reminder. Number 6 is be nice. Okay. So most of us are probably a little too nice, but whatever you do or aspire to become, every single person you interact with is your client, and your client needs and deserves the best possible service you can provide. Don't let it get lost in the fact that, we're just trying to get them in the challenge group and that's it. Well, no, that's just the beginning. Our job is to provide the best customer service possible to our clients before they join, when they join, during the challenge group, and after. So that sounds like a lot of time commitment, but it doesn't have to be. All they need is a kind word. They need you to check up on them, see how they're doing. They need you to comment on their posts and like their stuff and make sure that they know they are important. That's one of the things about the little one-on-one groups that I have started is having that closer relationship there where it's easier to recognize, which is one of the vital behaviors, and just shout people out for the good things they're doing. We have to provide that great customer service because that's what you're giving them. They are not joining this challenge group because they love Beachbody products yet, because maybe they have never even tried it before. They are buying into this because of you, and you want to make sure that you are giving them that experience that makes them want to continue on, to get healthier, to get better, and stay on track. So plus on top of that, referrals are huge. That's going to be a big part of your business too, is how you relate to your customers then gets passed on. It's the word of mouth thing. Angie just told me about her cookie business. Whenever she makes cookies, it can get out of control because she makes amazing cookies and people start telling other people about them, and that referral creates a bigger business. So the same thing goes for us. I mean, when they figure out what great customer service you give them, what a great coach you are, how you have helped them and provided value and meal plans and recipes, and I thought of you, I thought this quote would help you today. That kind of stuff goes a long way, and it allows you to make more connections in the future with their friends and their friends. So it can make you a difference between dreaming of this life that you want or actually living that dream. Just being kind to people. So number 7 is be a good sport. So in the game of life, you have to remember to be a good sport. It says the problem with being a good sport is that you have to lose to prove it. Well, that's no fun, right? Nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to fail or trip up, but you know what? It happens. It does. So here's a couple. It says, Here are tailor-made rules for losing with grace. So before the game even starts, remember you have to play by the rules. So we all want to get ahead. We want to achieve our dreams and be wildly successful, but we can't get there by stepping on anyone else on our way up. So make sure that what we're doing is we're not going to be lashing out or being offensive or putting other people down if something doesn't go our way. So you pull it together, you put on a smile, you don't let other people see you cry, sweat, or crumble. You hold your head up high and you remind yourself how far you've come. You took the challenge, you put yourself out there, and maybe it didn't work this time, but the next time it will. And you give yourself a good pep talk over and over and congratulate the winner. Be gracious, charming, and genuine, and stay positive. It's hard if you miss a goal. It's hard if you miss a mark. It's hard if you put a lot of work into a post and it gets no traction whatsoever. That's hard, but it's, disappointment is one of those things that is part of life. It's all the failures and losses are opportunities to learn. So stay positive. Don't lose hope. Don't lose your momentum. Just keep going. Let me refresh just the 7 secrets here as we go over them one more time. So the first one is be inspired. Look around you. There's going to be, God can use anything to inspire you to take the next step towards your goal. Number 2 is put yourself on display. Don't forget to, be vulnerable and show people that you are a real person that with, I'm telling myself this too, that you show your successes and your failures, and you show how God is redeeming us through this process, that it is a process and a journey, and we're all part of it. Number 3 is stop searching for instant gratification, and right along with that, remember that overnight success doesn't happen overnight. That's number 4. So you don't have to be complacent to be patient. You can be working hard during that patient season. But, the real lasting success takes that dedication, that commitment, that perseverance. So keep going. Number 5 is manage your time. Make sure that those things that you can delegate, you do, and, make that breathing room in your schedule so that you're not constantly at the end of your rope. Number 6 is be nice. Keep that great customer service that I know you guys do, and just continue on, and don't forget that this is a relationship that you're building. It doesn't stop. You can be there for them. Maybe their communication on that side might stop, but you're always available and helping them. And number 7 is be a good sport. So even in those times that are tough, even the times that you feel like nobody's listening or hearing you, or maybe you missed a goal, those are all learning opportunities. So be a good sport, keep your head up high, and, just keep going. The perseverance piece is definitely the key in all of this. So the ones that are the successful people are the ones that are putting themselves out there. They accept that praise and the criticism. And they really treat people well and keep their head up high when things are not going quite their way. So, I know some of this stuff is easier than others to actually put into action. And that's one of the things that is so important about doing personal development, of getting on calls and reading new things and just filling your mind with positivity, because we forget, we get in these grooves and we have moments where we feel like down on ourselves, or just not feeling like we're where we should be. And that's why we keep diving in. That's why we keep getting together and we keep reaching out to one another, because that's what this team is for. That's what this community is for, is to help one another out. I likened it to, I was talking to a potential client today, and just expressing how much I love this business and how much it ties to my personal relationship with God as well. And I said, we have these challenge groups, we have this team community for the same purpose, is to help one another out and to remind ourselves of why we're here, and to have that constant support, because this is a journey. And it's just like you don't just say you're a Christian and then do nothing else about it. You plug yourself into a church and a community of support around you. We go to church Wednesday night or Sunday night or whatever, and you keep going and you keep hearing and you keep learning, because we forget things. And so that's the same thing with personal development and these calls and the things that we have for you guys and for myself, just so that we can constantly be learning and growing and surrounding ourselves with like-minded people. So I'm really, really thankful for all of you and the support that you give to me and to each other, and I appreciate that. So I just want you guys to know that. We still have 10 days left of the month, and we're gonna rock it out and keep going strong. I am loving the Fight for It group is ready to go. They're knocking it out of the park already, and I really appreciate you guys. So I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I will see you again next week.